Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, better known as Mahatma Gandhi, undertook many a successful campaign in his lifetime. Of all, the one that stands out was the civil disobedience movement of 1930, also known as the Salt Satyagraha. Raising a lump of salty mud on the morning of 6th April 1930, the Mahatma declared to shake the foundations of the British Empire with it. And with that declaration broke the mass civil disobedience in India. The success of this movement was unprecedented, with many taking part in the freedom struggle for the first time. No one had anticipated the quantum of success of this march when the 60-year-old towering figure, along with 78 disciples from his Sabarmati ashram, embarked on this pilgrimage 25 days ago on 12th March. Interestingly, the then Viceroy Lord Irwin, as well as the British media, had ridiculed the little brown man when he expressed his intent to start the Salt Satyagraha. Not considering it as a threat, Viceroy rejected 11 demands of the Mahatma, one among them being the abolishment of salt tax. This arrogance of the British compelled the Mahatma to embark on this pilgrimage to Dandi. But the British were not the only ones who failed to grasp the idea behind the choice of salt as a tool for mass movement. The Congress Working Committee had also cast similar doubts. With the exception of C. Rajgopalachari, all prominent Congress leaders, including his trusted lieutenants Vallabhbhai Patel and Jawaharlal Nehru, initially failed to comprehend the rationale behind this choice. But it was clear to the Mahatma that to connect the common people with the freedom struggle, our leaders needed to address what truly concerned the commonality instead of addressing what they thought must concern the latter. Markedly, the prime concern of common people remains their livelihood, for which they are ready to compromise their freedom and rights. This is why generous dictators always remain popular. These indelible lines from Ramcharitmanas, "Kou hoye nrip hame kya hani," meaning, whoever be the king, our condition will remain the same, succinctly describe the mindset of common public. Notably, the Mahatma first became aware of this reality during his days in South Africa, when he saw that although the merchants and clerical class were becoming members of Natal Indian Congress, an organization formed to safeguard the interests of Indian community there, the unskilled wage earners largely stayed away. But things changed drastically when the Mahatma helped an indentured Tamil laborer named Bala Sundaram, whose master had beaten him mercilessly. All of a sudden, the Mahatma became popular among the indentured laborers. This made him realize that to gain the support of the poor, one must serve their cause. For a fact, linking common masses to the freedom struggle was absolutely necessary, as without their support, independence would have merely become slogan of the privileged. As it is well known, salt is a commodity of daily use in India, used by all classes, be it rich or poor. Therefore, a tax on it greatly affected the common Indians. Thus, the Mahatma decided to fight against this regressive tax to gain support of common masses. But it was not just the decision to fight the salt tax which demonstrated his genius. The manner of protest and its meticulous planning by him were equally important. Choosing Padyatra or foot pilgrimage to Dandi, a town 390 kilometers from Ahmedabad, instead of a nearby town Badalpur, allowed him to interact with and enthuse large number of people on the way. Moreover, the day-to-day coverage attracted wider publicity and generated interest among wider public, both domestic and international. Here too, an experience from South Africa influenced his decision. To draw attention towards discrimination against Indians there, he had led several thousand marchers across the border between Natal and Transvaal. 16.5 years later, he once again chose similar fashion of protest to bring into focus the injustice Indians suffered under British rule. Remarkably, being a social reformer, the Mahatma also used this campaign to address the prevalent social evil of untouchability. To compel people to shed this atrocious practice, He even refused to begin his speech in Gajera until the audience shed the discrimination. That way, the freedom movement started having meaning even for historically oppressed classes. Moreover, Salt Satyagraha also acted as a campaign for women empowerment. Women, who had hitherto stayed away from the freedom struggle, participated in it in large numbers. In fact, this remains the most empowering experience for Indian women till date. A few women even quoted arrests. Among them, Rukmani Lakshmipati became the first one to receive a prison sentence on 14th May 1930. Though this campaign itself failed to gain us freedom, it laid firm foundation for future endeavors for independence. All over India, people started breaking salt and other unpopular laws in large numbers. By breaking the salt law, Indians had tasted freedom. Now they would settle for nothing less than Purna Swaraj or complete independence. This is what the Mahatma had intended to achieve from the beginning. Through this campaign, he changed the temperament of common Indians and linked them to the freedom struggle, thus bringing one of the mightiest empires of all time on its knees with a mere pinch of salt. And this way, by playing a pivotal role in the freedom movement, salt became the sweetest thing for Indians.